I'm DeDe. Welcome to this 30 minutes of flexibility and balance. We'll be performing seated exercises for strengthening the core. Some of those exercises will include squeezing a soft squeezable object, such as a rolled up towel, a roll of paper towels, or a playground ball. That's what I'm going to be using. Here's what else you'll need: some athletic shoes, a sturdy armless chair, some water for hydration that's out of your way. You'll need space around you as usual. And you'll also need to remember to do only what feels right for you and to modify or skip something if it doesn't feel right. So now we'll gather our household object, whatever we're going to use, and then we'll carefully place it so it doesn't roll away or doesn't get away from us. So it's out of the way so we can warm up. Let's come into our upright sitting position. Feet are even and straight. Your legs are in line with your hip joints and your torso is tall and straight. Take your arms down, turn your palms forward, and inhale up and exhale down. Do it again. So we're starting out with some breathing. Let's talk about breathing. So when we're squeezing an object, we bring about a lot more core activation and therefore strength and stability and endurance, but it also might elicit the response of holding your breath. So don't hold your breath at any point. I'll remind you, but try to remember on your own as well. All right, bring your hands down. Inhale, and then exhale. Tip forward with your back long and straight. Do it again. Now let's start to slide our hands forward, maybe to the knees, maybe a little bit past. And again. So you're still supporting with your hands on your legs. You're just sliding a little further down, but you're keeping your back straight. One more. Now we sit up, we inhale, take the arms out, twist, look over your shoulder as you exhale, and then switch. And again. Drive your feet down into the floor so your legs are something that you can grab onto and get yourself some leverage. One more time. Now let's take the feet a little wider, and then inhale, take your hand on your right leg, exhale, reach your left arm over, and then switch. Now your arm can stay bent, or you can reach it longer and straighter. Just make sure your feet are a little bit apart so you can stabilize. Now let's come back to the center. Inhale, open your hands. Exhale, make a light fist. Do it again. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. One more. All right, now keep your light fist. Circle around one direction and the other direction. Now you're going to keep the elbows right where they are and really make the movement come from your wrists. Now let's do this circling one way and the other with your fingers open. Feel the difference. Go slow, go the full range, all the way around. Are you still keeping your elbows in place? All right, now we press the palms together, shoulders down, one side and the other side. Ooh, feel that stretch all the way down into your forearm, right? From your palm through your wrist into your forearm. So we're already pressing here. We're already doing a little kind of a squeeze. So make sure you're not holding your breath. All right, now we take our hands down. You can hold on to the chair if you want. Bring your feet just a little more narrow. Now we do an ankle circle around through one side and then the other side. So you're going through the pointing and then back to the flexing and the other side. And around. You can go at whatever speed you like. Now we're holding on to the chair. Can we try both feet circling up and around? So you have to keep lots of weight on your hips, less weight on your toes. So make sure you're not leaning forward. Your head is not forward, your torso is not forward. All right, now we'll tap the toes right and left. You don't have to hold on for this. Our objective here is to lift the toes up as high as we can. Now we'll bring the feet together and then we'll go heel, toe, and back in again. Toe, heel, and again. Heel, toe, and back in. Now, how about if we add some arms that are kind of a similar swivel? When your heels go out, your elbows go out. When your toes go in, your fingers go in. How does that feel? So if you're able to do something after you try a few times, and then it suddenly feels a little bit easier, and you can really get it with your body, that means that you've done a little brain fitness. So you've opened up a new channel in your brain, a new neural pathway, and you've connected up your body and your brain better. So not only are you happy that you were able to do the move after all, but you're happy that you did all of that other stuff as well. Tiptoes, down. Tiptoes, down. Push your hands down, resist. So now we're already pressing and squeezing, right? We're not using any object for this. So just by adding the downward press with the upward lift of our heels, we're creating tons of work for our middle, for our core. All right, now we'll take the feet out, and pause. In. Now start with your left foot. Out. In. Now start with your right foot. Add the arms to out. In. Do you need to hold on instead? That's okay if you need to. Now we're going to switch feet every time. Let's go faster. Out. In. Now left. Out. In. Now right. Two more. All right, now step your feet out wide. Let's turn, and we'll do, those of you who do my sessions often, you know this is one of my favorite stretches, the lunge. Knee is 90 degrees here as well as here. You're holding on with at least one hand, if not both. Ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip. Now we do the pelvic rocking. Let's do it 8 times. Forward and back, forward and back. Tucking under, releasing. 4 more. All right, now we come back through the center. Let's do some hip hinges here with our feet wide, in line with the corners of your chair if you can. Inhale, exhale forward. And again. Keep your shoulders back and down. Now let's go to the other side. 90 degrees with both knees. And then tuck your pelvis forward and back. Forward and back. Tuck, release. And tuck it under. 2 more. All right, and then we're coming back to the center. We have that wide stance once again. Hands here, inhale. Let's twist this time. Exhale down. So we're turning our spine along its axis. Your chest is forward, and then your chest is facing side. So we still have the shoulders back and down for this. One more. Okay, now we grab our squeezable object, whatever you're going to use. Just make sure you do it safely. Hand on your leg, hand on the chair, something to support. If you have to bend down, make sure you have something to support. And then we'll come back to the center. So we bring our feet about shoulder width distance. You're going to hold on to your object with both hands. What are you using? Are you using a rolled up towel? A roll of paper towels? Are you using a ball? Are you using a cushion from your couch or from a dining room chair? Any of that is good. Sometimes they even make cushions in the shape of a ball. Any of those are good. They don't have to be heavy. All right. So we're holding this in our hands, and then we're going to press it from our chest forward and then back in. If your object is heavy, this is going to get very cumbersome and very tiring very quickly. So make sure that your object is light. So we're not really squeezing, just enough to hold the object, not really squeezing, not yet. Now let's take the object up, up, and in. So even though your object isn't heavy, you might be starting to notice some cumulative fatigue starting to build up in your shoulders. Now we'll go from side to side. So start at your chest, side, about shoulder height, and in. Now the other side, out, and in. So it takes core stability to be able to turn and reach, cantilevering your arms away from you. That takes core stability to be able to stay up tall and straight in your torso. So make sure you're sitting up tall and straight. If you can look out toward the object, that helps you with balance challenge. Let's go a little further. Can you go further to the side? Ooh. That's quite a bit of stretch for that front arm, isn't it? See if you can do it. Now when you're twisting, it helps if you exhale during that part. It gives you a little bit more space to twist. Can you feel that? And then one more over here. All right, let's rest the shoulders. Roll them up and back and down a couple of times. Next, we're going to move the feet wider. All right, now we're going to do a combination. First, we start by exhaling and reaching down. We're still hinging from the hip. You don't have to touch the floor. And then you inhale in, and you exhale, reach forward. And then you inhale in, and you exhale, reach up. And then you inhale in, and you exhale and reach forward. All right, you got it? It's down, forward, up, forward. And we're going to go a little bit faster. Start here. We go down, exhale, up, inhale forward, up, exhale, inhale forward. Here we go. Now, if that breathing feels too fast, then just breathe any way you like. Remember, I said earlier, you just don't want to hold your breath. How are you feeling? Keep your back straight. Last round. All right, let's walk the feet in. Rest whatever you're using on your lap and then lean forward. Now, maybe you can lean on whatever you're using. Like the ball, for me, is a great place to lean my mid-ribs. If you have your paper towel or your rolled up towel, you might want to turn it sideways. And you can also support with your hands if your object is not a good support for you. All right, and then we'll come up. Separate your feet. They're about shoulder width distance. You don't want to go any wider than the corners of your chair. You can go a little more narrow than that if you want. All right, once again, we're about chest height. Inhale, and then exhale, sweep across. Inhale, center. Make sure you feel stable from the waist down. This is very dynamic, so if you feel like you don't want to turn as far as I'm turning, that's fine. You don't have to turn that far. Now, on the other hand, if you're feeling comfortable, why don't we do this? Turn your trailing foot in. Your knee can turn in too. Make sure you're staying on your chair. You don't want to feel like you're about to leave your chair. If you want to keep your feet in place like this, feel free to keep doing it that way. Otherwise, pivoting your foot. You want to keep your knee and toe lined up as much as you can. And then we'll come back to the center. Bring the legs in, rest, hands, forearms, or just leaning on your object. Since I'm leaning on my object, I'm going to bring my arms down. Make sure the object pressing into you is not keeping you from breathing. All right, and then we come up. Now we're taking the object here between our knees. So my object is this wide. Yours might be a different width. So I want you to line your knees up with your ankles. So your feet might be a different distance apart than mine. Make sure your object is not too enormous though. Okay, here we are. Sitting up tall as usual. Rest your hands on your legs or hold on. Squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. Now when I say relax, you're not totally relaxing because you'll drop the object, whatever it is. So don't drop it. So as you squeeze, what do you feel? You feel inner thighs contracting, maybe some of your core muscles too. If you put your hands on those areas, you can actually feel them contracting. Do you feel anything else? Do you feel stability happening all through your midsection, even into your back? Maybe you feel something else in your legs besides inner thighs, maybe tops of thighs or hamstrings. Let's go faster now. Press and press and press. So I know that I'm breathing because I'm talking. How about you? Are you breathing? Four, three more, 2, and 1. All right, stop. Rest. So if your back feels fatigued, just know that you were using your back, even if you weren't aware of it in the moment, just then, in that exercise. Now, the muscles that draw the legs in, those are called the adductors, A-D-D, ductors. So we're going to work the abductors. Those are the ones that draw the legs out. Those are in your hips. So take the squeezable object on the outside of your right knee. Make sure that your ankles and knees are together and you're sitting up tall. Take your hands across, push in, and with the same amount of force, push out, all right? So, and relax, and relax. So I recommend during the pushing and pulling, that's when you exhale. Now let's go faster. Press, release, press, release. Can you feel some of the diagonal muscles that run through your torso working from left to right and from right to left? Internal and external obliques. Can you feel those? They're working. And stop. All right. Roll the shoulders up and back and down a couple times. All right, let's get set up on the other side now. So you take the squeezable object to the outside of the other knee. Make sure it's not going to roll off the front of your knee. It's on the side of your thigh, side of your knee. Ready? You're sitting up tall. Here we go. Press, release. Press, release. So some other parts of your body that are working, you can probably feel it. Your hip, your core, we mentioned those. What about your arms? You feel things happening in your arms, maybe your triceps, the back of your upper arm. Now faster, press, release. Still breathing. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. 4 more, 3 more, 2, and 1. All right, take your squeezable object behind you. If you're using one that's a cylindrical shape, like a roll of paper towels or a rolled up towel, put it sideways. If yours is round, like mine, just put it back there. Somewhere between your back ribs and your tailbone. So probably a little closer to your tailbone than your back ribs. And you'll wedge it back there between the back of the chair and your body. Okay, so that object is wedged back there. Now you can step one or both feet a little bit further forward. That gives you a little bit different leverage. And then we'll hold on to the chair at first. Now we have to keep the body straight and long and the chin away from the chest. Let's lean back, 2, and sit up, 2. Are you keeping this distance here? So that means you're looking forward, but then your face is pointing up a little bit, and then you're looking forward. So the core benefits are twofold here. As you lean back, the front of your torso has to contract to stabilize and to support. And the effort of pushing back and compressing that object, that uses the other side of our torso. Now, what about not holding on and using one or both arms forward? At any point, if you need to rest, you can stop and rest. That's always okay. Keep this distance here. Now we stay back. We compress, 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 compress. Now, if you're okay here, what about one hand or both hands with the arms folded? So because we're leaning back and our legs are extended a little bit, you might feel your hip flexors working. But if you put your hand on your abdomen, you can feel those muscles working too. Eight, 7 more, 6, 2, and 1. All right, slide your feet in, take your hands on your legs, sit up. You can let your object stay back there as long as it's not going to get away from you. Bring your feet in, And then we'll rest our forearms or our hands on our legs. Relax your shoulders. All right, take your hands on your legs. Now we have one more exercise. Take your squeezable object in front, make a lap by bringing your ankles and knees together, and we'll place it here. Now we'll hold on to our elbows, and then we'll press straight down and press straight down. Now I just want to show you that we're not rounding into this. We're keeping the back straight and long. So we're here. Press. Press. Tuck your chin in if it's sticking out. So even though our arms are making contact with the object, try to think about using your torso muscles to do this. Torso muscles. Okay, let's make it smaller and faster. So stay forward and press. Press, release, press, release. 8 more, 7 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's come back to the center. Now you're going to stow this away so it's out of your way. Make sure you do that with support from your hand on your leg. And then we'll sit up and we'll slide to the front of the seat of our chair, moving the feet forward also. Take your hands back on the back of the chair and slide the hands up. Tip forward, and then draw your shoulders back, draw your chin in, and lead with your chest. That feels nice after everything our arms had to do and how stable our shoulders and chest had to be. And then we'll sit up. Now while we're here at the front, let's straighten one leg out, flex the foot, and then hinge forward. Hands on your legs. If it feels comfortable, you can reach one arm down. Just make sure you're maintaining your posture. All right, and then we'll come up and we'll switch. Trade the bent leg for the straight leg and hinge forward. Maybe your arm reaches down, maybe it doesn't. And then we'll hinge up, and then we'll scoot back. Separate the feet to about shoulder width. Let's twist, and we'll look over our right shoulder. Stay here. That feels good. To twist away a little bit of the tension that may have accumulated during our work. And then let's twist the other way. Coming back to the center. Let's walk the feet in a little bit closer. Now take your hand on the right side of the seat of the chair and reach up and over here. Top arm is bent or it can be straight. We're going to stay here. And then we'll take this arm down, shoulder is down, and we'll pull it across. So reach it out and pull it in at the same time. Feel the stretch here on the outside of your shoulder. And then we'll switch. Up and over. Bent or straight. And then we'll come back up and we'll take the arm across with the shoulder down. Stay here. All right, and then release, roll your shoulders up and back and down. So how did that go for you? As I said earlier, by incorporating and squeezing an object, we're able to create greater demands for core stabilization, strength, and endurance. And we need all of that stuff to be better at everything that we do. So thank you for joining me. And until next time, be well.